Hello viewers, welcome to Home Cooking with me Hima Subramanian. Today's recipe is bread badam cake. Now the highlight of this particular recipe is the cake is steamed. So why are we waiting? Let's get started. So blend it to a nice coarse mixture. So for the cake, I'm going to take 2 cups of brown bread crumbs, 1 cup of maida or all-purpose flour, 1 cup sugar, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda. So now we've added all the dry ingredients. Mix it. 2 cups milk at room temperature. So just mix it nicely. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence. Next add 3 tablespoons of ghee. Now if you don't have ghee, you can use melted butter, that's the option. Three tablespoons of condensed milk. So mix it well. The batter is done for the cake. Now we're going to steam it. Take a tin or if you have a container that's suitable for the steamer. So I'm using a stainless steel tin for this cake, but if you have an aluminium or a non-stick cake tin, you can use that. Just brush it with ghee, all the sides, all-purpose flour, that is maida, and dust it off. Dust it on all the sides like this. Make sure it's coated well. If there's any excess flour, just tap it gently and just remove it. Now pour this into the prepared tin. The water is nice and hot and the steam is coming out beautifully. You place the container, the tin inside the steamer, garnish it or top it off with some almond, that is badam flakes. You can see this, slices of badam. So the reason why I'm doing it at the end is because if you do it earlier, before the steamer is ready, the badam slices can go in or sink into the batter. So that's why once the steamer is ready, I've topped it with badam, that is the almonds, and now I'm going to close the steamer. Now this has to steam for about 45 minutes minimum and maximum for 1 hour on low flame, that is really low flame. The bread badam cake is done. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and after an hour I've turned off the stove and let it rest in the steamer for another 1 hour till it came to about room temperature. And you can see it's set beautifully and it's got this lovely golden brown color. So now you can make this delicious and simple bread badam cake. It's a great tea time snack, and you can even serve it when guests are coming home. You can make it in advance, and you can store it in the refrigerator. If you want to leave it out, it's good for about 2 days, but I would recommend you keep it in the refrigerator. So do try and enjoy. Today's recipe is a very interesting cake recipe. It is chocolate Sooji cake. So while we're waiting, let's get started and see how this delicious cake is made. I have all these dry ingredients here, and we're going to mix the ingredients together, starting with half cup of maida or all-purpose flour, half cup Sooji, this is the fine semolina or the fine Sooji, 3/4 cup sugar, 1/4 teaspoon table salt, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 cup cocoa powder. Now I'm just going to mix all these ingredients together. Next I'm going to incorporate the wet ingredients. This is a 250 ml cup, 1 whole cup of milk. This is at room temperature. 85 grams of melted butter, 1 teaspoon vanilla essence. Now mix everything together. So make sure you don't have any lumps and you get a nice creamy mixture. So now I've taken a cake tin. So if you have the parchment paper, that is a baking sheet, the butter paper, you can use that. If you don't have that, just grease the tin. Make sure it's well greased on all sides. Dust with a little flour. And we're going to pour the cake batter into the tin. So now I'm going to bake this in a preheated oven at 180 degrees for about 45 minutes until done. If you have chocolate syrup, you can pour the chocolate syrup or the chocolate sauce actually. Just garnish it with some grated chocolate, dark chocolate. If you have milk chocolate, you can use. So next time you have this craving for a chocolate cake, try making this simple yet delicious cake and enjoy it with your evening snack or just after a lovely meal. It's a great dessert as well. Today's recipe is a lovely eggless vanilla sponge cake. Let's get started and check out the ingredients. To make powdered sugar, take a cup of regular white sugar and just grind it in a mixer grinder. For the sponge cake, we're first going to mix the dry ingredients. For this, you would need about 2 cups of all-purpose flour, that is maida, 1 cup powdered sugar, 1.5 teaspoons baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon table salt. Just mix these dry ingredients together. To this, I'm going to add 1 cup of milk, 2 teaspoons vanilla essence, 1/2 cup melted butter. Mix it on medium speed for about 1 minute till you get a nice creamy batter. Grease the cake tin with some butter and dust it with some flour. Just make sure you've dusted it completely and the tin is completely coated with flour. Transfer the batter to the cake tin. Just even out the batter. Make sure you spread it out evenly in the tin. Steam cook the cake for about 45 minutes on low flame. And those of you who want to bake it, preheat the oven at 180 degrees and you can bake it at 180 degrees for 30 minutes. After 45 minutes, check if the cake is cooked through. Turn off the stove and leave it in the steamer for about 10 minutes. Then cool the cake and you can cut it and serve it in slices. So there you have this simple yet delicious vanilla sponge cake. So do try it and enjoy. You can get a copy of our first edition of the home cooking book on Amazon and 21 Frames.